Hi guys, hello everyone, good morning. So it's been a little while since I did a video. I have not been feeling great. In fact, I've been feeling fucking horrendous. Sorry, just a minute. My darling, what do you mean? Alright, sweetie. I'll put some catnip for you as well, but I'll do it a bit later. Bruce came and visited, so I keep seeing the omega symbol everywhere. You know, the omega symbol is literally fucking showing up here, there and everywhere. I mean, in the strangest places as well. It's just unbelievable. Right. I don't even know where to start this video because so much is going on so many different levels. I know that a lot of us are really under fire. It's not just me, but it's other people. Soul travelers are under heavy artillery. We're under fire, and there is a reason for that too, I feel. Ew. Everything is hitting a crescendo. It's all what I feel. What I feel is that we're getting there now. We're getting there now. And on the one side of it all, it feels as if we're not getting there at all. It feels as if we're doomed. We're fucked. We're finished. Hitting a brick wall. I know that feeling very well. We hit brick walls all the fucking time, and then the brick wall simply disintegrates and we move through another layer. You see, that's it. Nobody can help us to get through these brick walls. It's how do we relate to each other? How do we see other people, as in other soul travelers? Because, you know, the way we relate, conduct our relationships is a very important aspect of this. We've been in this place and it fucked us up in every imaginable fucking way, psychologically. We're very dysfunctional, and we often expect other people to do things for us that they should not be doing for us, that we have to do ourselves, that in fact we really only can do ourselves. We allow ourselves to be needy when in fact what we need to do is tune into our strength and our power, because it's there, you see. It is there, people. It's what a friend of mine calls transactional relationships, where there are expectations. You know, there is the whole kind of like, well, I want something from you for me. And that happens when somebody feels weak, when somebody feels afraid, when somebody feels vulnerable. With soul travelers, with NPCs, it's a whole different thing altogether. And we look for answers, and we want answers. We want to start feeling better. We want answers. We want validation. We want to know that we can trust ourselves, basically. But nobody can teach us how to trust ourselves. I had to go through years and years and years of terrible self-doubt and second-guessing, and seeing the fallout of the self-doubt and the second-guessing in order to learn to fucking trust myself. And I still don't trust myself 100%, because if I did, I wouldn't be feeling the way I have been feeling. I've given some of our subscribers my contact details, and I've been in touch with you. We've emailed back and forth. We connect on Facebook and whatnot. I've done that carefully, only with certain people that I resonated with. It's unlikely I'll be doing it again, because I haven't got the energy or the space in my life at this moment to give too much of myself to other people. I've given way too much of myself to other people throughout my life. I was conditioned to think I had to in order to be loved and accepted. Which I know now is an absolute load of bullshit, and it's nasty gaslighty nonsense, because I am perfectly beautiful and acceptable and lovable as I am, and I love myself. And because I love myself, I can no longer give so much of myself during a time where I need to introspect more and more and more, because that is what I need to do now in order to see this quest through to its conclusion, if you can even call it that. I'm in a place, in a space now that is of such tremendous and pivotal importance that it is required of me to be 100% for me and with me. It is as simple as that. Now, I like to speak with people, I like to email with people, I like to stay in touch with people. But I cannot carry anybody, and I cannot advise them on what to do and what to think and where to go, because I would be taking something away from people. I will be detracting from your experience and from your journey if I were to do that. I do not have the answers for anybody other than myself. That's it. This is a very individual quest, it's a very individual journey, it always has been. What's right for one person may not be right for another person. However, there are certain key points within the journey that connect. And one of those is that for some of us, I feel, wow, this is just, again, I'm trying to put that which cannot be put into words, and it's so frustrating. And there's something in my coffee that isn't is not of the light. Some of us are under very heavy fire, and it's like you feel like you're drowning, like a drowning man or woman. Something is sucking at you from below. Now, when that happens, we are on the right path. That's why it happens. All of a sudden, this experience that we call reality starts to hit us. It starts to throw up all these obstacles. I call it obstructionism. Shit happens, you know. It's stuff that is deeply unsettling. It makes you feel like the rug's being pulled from underneath your feet. People, NPCs, whatever, are obstructionistic. That's not even a word, but it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying, right? And something is happening inside your own psyche whereby there is a darkness. The dark generator pumps up in a big way, right? I'm just going to turn this music off, guys. Oh, please. You alright? Yeah, you are a good cat. I like a bit of Arvo pears, but can get a bit intense. What's happening at the moment is that for some of us, we're reaching a level of power, a level of breakthrough. We've been stood on the threshold between one world and the new world, the magical realm and the mundane realm, and we've been standing on the thresholds for quite a while now, whilst we're working on the right type of consciousness to hold the power consciousness, which is our own clear consciousness, as opposed to the hijacked consciousness. We can only enter the magical realm with clear flow consciousness. There's no other way to do it. To that end, we've been through all kinds of torturous experiences, clearing out the wetico, which is a consciousness virus. And because of that, consciousness creates reality. If then that consciousness is infected with a virus, with a pathogen, with something that's evil, it will create nothing but shit. Look around you. So we've been standing on the thresholds, prevaricating, because the fear still has so much power over us. The fear and the self-doubt and the you're worthless and you're shit. And the wetico still has so much power over us. Well, it has had. Now, something is shifting. It's as if there's a greater clarity showing us exactly what's really going on, showing us very, very clearly that this is a realm that morphs according to our consciousness. Our consciousness is not one thing, it fluctuates all the time like water or wind, and it responds accordingly. So you get things like the Mandela effect, which happens all the time. Now, it's interesting because I looked at my astrological charts the other day. For some reason, something says, go and look at your astrological chart. Because I was thinking about the sign of Taurus for some reason. Again, these things just popped into my head. And I looked at my chart, and my chart is not the same as it used to be. I've now got my sun in Capricorn in the second house. And I've got Mercury in Capricorn in the second house as well. They both used to be in a different house. They were not in the second house, which is the house of Taurus. I'm not complaining. I'm very happy with this because Taurus is good, strong energy. Kind of energy actually I really need at the moment. I think my sun was in the first house first. And I think my Mercury was in the house of Leo. I can't remember exactly. I think it was either in the house of Leo or in the house of Gemini, which wasn't a good mix with the Capricorn, as you can imagine, for those of you who know anything about astrology. But it has changed. There are other things as well. The chart of a friend of mine. There's a quincunx that wasn't there before that is there now, and I know damn well because only 2 weeks ago I looked at his chart and that quincunx wasn't there. Also, it's a quincunx that isn't a quincunx. It doesn't even make any sense. It's really strange. Lots of other things have happened that show me this is not real. It keeps changing. Reality keeps fucking morphing. It keeps changing. One day there is a red door there, and the next day the door is blue, the next day the door is purple, the next day there is no door at all. That's what's happening for me, and it's happening more and more quickly, and it's happening in different ways, and then there's the synchronicity, and then there's all the information, all the downloads of information that I'm getting, whilst at the same time I'm horrendously depressed. In fact, so depressed I can barely get myself out of bed, but I get out of bed because lying there tormented is unendurable as well. It's been absolutely fucking appalling because I'm literally piggy in the middle because the onslaught is happening like all the different shadow nuances, shadow aspects are there attacking me, saying give up, kill yourself, you're worthless, you're powerless, and this is all there is, you're worthless, you're powerless, kill yourself, all the bad things are going to happen, you're utterly doomed. Go back online, go onto YouTube and tune into this channel and tune into that channel, always conspiracy related channels, right? It wants me to watch all the conspiracy stuff that says, oh, 5G is happening, oh, the coming food shortage, the engineered starvation of humanity, and oh, we're all going to be mass vaccinated, and this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. All of that, it wants me to plug into. It wants me to fill myself with all this really dire, heavy, turgid, black, predictive programming, because none of that has happened as yet. So all these people going on and on and on about, oh, this is how it's going to be and this is what's going to happen, are predictive programmers. They are not people that stand in their power and say no, because consciousness creates reality. So if my consciousness creates reality, and none of that dark, malevolent shit is happening as yet, then there is no reason why it needs to happen. The only reason it would happen is if my consciousness is infected with a pathogen that has its hands on my consciousness. Imagine your consciousness is like a sponge, and it's doing this, and it's doing that to your consciousness, and you believe it. This must be the truth, because my whole life that has been the truth. My life has been very traumatic. I've been through loads of shit. I look at this world and I see what it is. I'm so awake now that I can see exactly what this is. All completely insane, and it's completely sick, and it's really sadistic, and everybody's pretending that it's fine when in fact it's really, really fucked up. You realize that there is no such thing as a wholesome human being in this realm at all. Everybody is broken, and everybody's pretending they're fine. Right? You go into your counselor, your psychotherapist, they're broken, they're fucking broken people. It's the blind leading the blind. You know all of that. You see what's happening. You see all these different layers and nuances of what consists for life. And the Vertigo is there saying, yeah, see, that's all there is. That's all you've ever experienced. There is nothing else. And yet, at the same time as all that's happening, and it wants you to glue yourself in, and all the conspiracies, oh, it's all happening, it's going to happen, it has happened. You're creating that, because that's where you're stuck. That is your brick wall. Because you still believe the Vertigo. That's the truth. It's understandable, because that is what we've experienced our whole life. Some of us have had very, very difficult, painful, traumatic lives. Very fucking hard going. So that has been our truth. We never realized that there was such a thing as consciousness. We were told this is all there is, and then you die. And if you're good, you go to heaven, and if you're bad, you go to hell. Or you might be reincarnated. Everything we've been told is a pack of lies, people. Everything. It all comes back to one thing. I am. Consciousness creates reality. You start to observe reality, and I mean observe. You realize that it doesn't make any sense. It keeps changing and morphing, for starters, and it's always done this. Because I noticed this type of shit 20, 30 years ago. It's always done that. There's synchronicity going on all the time. And I got the distinct sense that we have created this place in a way. We made it. We said, right, let's like you create a video game and then play it. A bit like that. I got that feeling, the feeling that says, this is going to be all right, because you're the designer. You created this experience. You wanted to have this experience. It would give you a great deal of oomph from a soul perspective. And here you are, and you make yourself forget who you are, and that why you're here, and so forth and so on, and you believe yourself to be a powerless, worthless piece of shit fixing, blah blah blah, because the Vertigo is inside your consciousness, and it's all a pack of lies. It's continually a pack of lies. It tells you that you're worthless because you don't have money and a home of your own. That means you're worthless. It tells you you're worthless because you're not Bo Derek and beautiful and blonde, so you're worthless. Oh, you're not good looking. Look, this is what good looking is, and you look like that. It tells you you're worthless because you're old. It tells you you're worthless. It tells you you're not safe. You know you're not safe. You've experienced the constant threat to your well-being, to your survival, to your psychological state. We've been in it. And that is a brick wall. That is the thickest of the brick walls, is the fact that you've been in it, in the trauma, in this nebulous, dark, whole of mirrors experience, and then all of a sudden the blind and inside, the flash, tells you, but no, it's a pack of fucking lies. And now you have to start flexing your muscles. You have to. Something is coming up here that allows me to see all that, to feel all of that dark onslaught, and boy oh boy, it's coming on hard and fast. And at the same time, I'm holding my center here. It's like, yeah, I can feel that fear, but I'm not going to react to it anymore. I don't have to. Yes, I can see that, I can feel that, and I know what you're saying about that, and you know what? It's bullshit. Because I have the power, I create this reality, not Wetiko. We came in here, and it's all, the Wetiko facilitates it, as it were, a certain type of experience, a very dark experience, very frightening. And we thought it was all real, and this is all how it is, and ooh, you know, and then we awoke, and then all that started, and we've walked a path, and yeah, now it doesn't want to let us go. It was always going to put up a fight. It doesn't want to let you go. It wants you to tune in to all the negativity. It wants you to be afraid. It wants you to believe it's all a done deal. Well, I'm not going to allow myself to be vaccinated. I'm not doing it. So I'm going to live off the land and grow my own vegetables and whatnot, and all this type of bullshit, which in the mundane world, that would never work. They would find you, they would arrest you, they put you in a camp, they would forcibly vaccinate you. There are so many, I mean, I've done all this, I've been there. All these conspiracy theorists. David Icke did another one on London Real, he was kicked off YouTube. This is reverse psychology, you see, because more and more people are going to get into David Icke because of that, and that is what they want, because it's all the 5G and the forced vaccinations, and it's going to happen unless, as David Icke always puts it, unless asses leave seats. So what, people are going to get together and do what exactly? Have they ever done that successfully? No, they haven't. We cannot defeat the forces of darkness physically, brick by brick. We can only defeat them in here, in our consciousness, people, and that is it. But Wetiko doesn't want to die. Whoa. That crow out there just swooped. Wetiko wants us... Well, Wetiko wants to remain in control. It wants to remain in the driver's seat of our consciousness. So if we keep believing all this, instead of understanding that all of this is a lie, that it's not real, it doesn't have to materialize in any way or shape or form, that reality morphs continually, and that we have a massive influence on how it materializes, people. I know for some of you, you're not ready for that. You're still languishing in self-hatred and not being able to forgive yourself and that sort of thing. It's an important part of it all, because self-hate is a massive mechanism in all of this. People that hate themselves and cannot forgive themselves are trapped momentarily. You'll get out of it, you will. If we realise the power that we have, it's back in the day, I didn't realise I had any power either, and I just had to live in this heavy subterranean existence of self-loathing and self-hate and not being able to forgive myself. I couldn't see, I was blind. That is the Wetiko. It's pure psychological warfare. It's within our consciousness, but it is not of us. It isn't of us. It's within us, but it's not of us. It's a bit like in the world, but not of it. Wetiko is in our consciousness, but it's not of our consciousness. It's a foreign agent. It's like a retrovirus. Like these horrible thoughts we have as well about whatever, you know, just like intrusive thought syndrome, whatnot, all of that is Wetiko, people. The truth is that It lies and it lies and it lies, and we believe it. We've believed it all our lives, and the choice now is to no longer believe it, to know that it's lying, because it's full of shit. Something is happening. There's a massive shift going on, and now the true self-consciousness, the clear consciousness, you see, because what we've been doing here, of course, all this feeling like shit is a purge. It's a healing. It doesn't feel that way. It feels like you're just fucked up, end of. It isn't. It's a purge, and it's a healing process, people, and that's why you feel like shit. So feeling like shit is a good thing. I've said this before. You feel like shit, but it's a good thing. And you go through phases of feeling really shitty, and then you emerge on a higher level. You've gotten through the brick wall and you're on a higher level, and then you feel like shit there, and then you go through another level, and so forth and so on. Because the vertigo, by degrees, is being purged out of your consciousness. So you regain your clear consciousness, your true self-consciousness, which knows that vertigo's full of shit and is lying. It knows that, oh, there's a foreign agent inside my consciousness that is manipulating my thinking, manipulating my emotions, manipulating me in such a way that I act a certain way, think a certain way, feel a certain way, and experience reality a certain way. But it's all bullshit, and it is all a lie. Because that is the truth, people. You see, but we created this whole thing. So if you go back and look over your life, you think, oh yeah, because if I hadn't had that experience, this wouldn't have happened. And if I hadn't met that person at that precise time in that place, I would never have understood that. It's as if throughout our journey from the get-go, everything was by design. And I believe that is true. I think we were never in any real danger. I think everything was already designed by us, for us. So when your consciousness is cleared, and this happens by degrees. So let's say you're at a point where, yes, the vertigo is still there, but it knows it's threatened. It feels that imminent threat to its survival, so it really starts to kick up a fuss, big time. That's what's, in the external world, as within, so without, and so forth. So on the external plane, this whole coronavirus bullshit is to do with that, because the forces of darkness, I think, are panicking. And so it's like, quickly implement this and implement that, anything to keep them down, anything to implement our agenda, which they won't be able to implement, because consciousness creates reality and they have no power. They're in a rush, and I can feel the agitation. I can feel the battle raging. I can feel the power of love and the peace and the serenity, and how potent it is. Yet, true power is so peaceful, people. True power lies in the silence. True power is not loud, it's not bombastic. It's not a devouring beast. It doesn't need to feed. It is complete, it has everything it needs. It is everything. That is what power is. Vertigo's idea of power needs constantly feed. It needs to feed constantly. It's always broken. It manipulates. It has to put in an inordinate amount of effort to keep us mind controlled and subjected and down. I mean, why would it have to do that if we're so weak and powerless? You know? The whole thing has been a gaslighting operation of massive proportions, and because we didn't realize, we didn't know this, and we couldn't see beyond the matrix, beyond this experience, because the vertigo had like 80% control of our consciousness, right? And it was like, yeah, this is all there is, this is all there is, this is all there is. And we get entangled in dogmatic systems of beliefs. We get entangled in dysfunctionality. We get entangled in emotional, energetic blockages. Ooh, and trauma. It's all about trauma. Well, of course it is, because trauma is the gate. Trauma is the power that Wetiko has over us. Again, we see that reflected on the external plane with the whole MK Ultra type thing. You see, so, but the healing of that has been going on now for years and years and years. And by degrees, we regain control over our consciousness. But it's been a very intense, a very deep, heavy, dark journey, because of course you work through a layer, you emerge, you get insights, validation, yes, I get it now, yes, whoo, but the next wave of clearing hits you, so you almost feel as if you're forever in the darkness. But if you pay close attention, learn to observe, learn to step back from yourself, learn to be as objective as you can be, you'll see, yes, okay, yep, it is going somewhere, it is. Until you arrive at a point where you really are able, because such an amount of your consciousness, as it were, has been liberated from the dark side, that you are now able to really experience that clear consciousness. And it's a weird thing where you can experience that, and at the same time also experience this the other side, the Wetiko drenched psyop that is, you know, the infected consciousness. So literally two things going on at the same time. That seriously is like, whoa, what the fuck? And that is where I'm at. It's very difficult to put into words, so difficult to put into words. So it's been very intense. This is why I cannot, you know, and I mean, this is why I do these videos, right? Because I'm hoping that it will help some of you as well as helping me. I cannot email back and forth with you guys at the moment, or, you know, Skype or do any of that, because I'm really just needing to be here with myself. This is a very delicate process that requires me to be constantly present and objective, because this is very new, and so it's new growth, new birth, and it has to be, I have to be very vigilant with it. It's as simple as that. I'm becoming more and more and more self-reliant. I've always been quite a self-reliant sort of individual anyway. But I'm now becoming self-reliant in the sense that I trust myself. I know how to experience the onslaught and still at the same time be in my power. I mean, it shifts back and forth as well. Yesterday was a dreadful day. I was so depressed. It was just unbearable. It really was so horrendous. This morning isn't great, but at least I'm doing a video. It literally is. Oh, and yet I know that the reason this is piping up so much on the inner plane, on the external plane, is that it knows its days are numbered. That's why it wants me to stay stuck, to be with, go and you know, watch all the conspiracy videos and be afraid, and yeah, they're going to do all this and they're going to do all that, because you know what, people? That's not where it's at. That's not where it's at. It's not a done deal. It's predictive programming. It's all Wetiko. It's all Wetiko. It's all dark magic. It's all an illusion. It wants you to tune into all the darkness and the dark side and the fear and the hate and the dread and the dark. They're going to do this, they're going to do that. It wants you to do that. And it wants you to believe all that. Oh yeah, they're going to do it. It's a done deal. It's going to happen. But it's okay, because I'm growing onions in my backyard and, you know, whatever. Or I'm going to live off the grid, because, you know, yeah. It wants you to be in the mundane reality, which is the Wetiko world. It wants you to be there. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Yeah, keep looking, keep digging, keep doing. Ooh, work out, work it out, work it out. And no. You're in a prison. That is not the real reality. That is the Wetiko-infected, mundane reality, panopticon. That's it. It's a prison, like that. It's out of there. If you want out of the prison, you need to understand that it's a pack of lies, that it isn't real, that it's not set in stone. You need to understand that your consciousness creates reality. You need to understand that all the suffering you've gone through, all this depression, all this anxiety, all this crap, means you're healing, right? Purging, healing, clearing, alchemizing, transforming, clawing back your consciousness from that pathogen, killing it off. Antiviral. That's what it is, people. It's gonna hurt. Yeah, it does hurt. I know. I've been through it for fucking years. It's all been worth it. That's why I'm able to stand in my power now. Because I've stood my ground all the way through, even when I didn't have a fucking clue what was going on, when I was in such agony, emotionally, mentally, that the thought to run to the bathroom and get a razor blade and cut open my wrists and call it a day was first and foremost on my mind, like a fucking red stoplight, or like something going red alert, red alert. I kid you not, people. I know severe depression where this is beyond endurance, this is beyond bearable, but you bear it anyway. And I'm glad that I stuck with it. I'm glad that I've seen it through. I'm glad that I crawled on my hands and knees through all the layers of filth to get to this point where I understand that the whole thing is a lie, it's a manipulation, it's an abomination, it's a lie. And I don't even have to be angry about it. I'm not angry about it. It was just an experience, it was a quest that, I cannot say this for certain, but it feels as if I myself have created this entire thing somehow. For myself. This particular experience, because there's always something, isn't it, that comes up, a person, a situation, a nuance, something or other that leads you from point A to point B to point C, and so forth and so on. It's always meaningful. So now I have this sense of power, this sense of peace, this sense of I am. Consciousness creates reality. So it may well be that all these changes start to happen. Good stuff, really magical, miraculous, good, wonderful stuff, shifts. Of course, in back the Wetiko, they go, no, it's not going to happen. Everything's going to go horribly wrong, and they're going to vaccinate you, and they're going to do this, and they're going to do that, and you should go now and watch, I don't know, watch some conspiracy theories and go there and be angry and be afraid and watch that and absorb it, absorb that energy of the negativity, of the fear, of the it's all a done deal. Do that, go there. Because, you know, you need to know what's happening. You need to know what they're going to do. You see where that might lead one. It's truly, that's it. That's where it wants people to be. That's where it wants you to be. It wants to reinfect, to keep reinfect, to keep feed it, and let it feed you. Hi, Bruce. This is Bruce. Hey, darling, do you want to go? Look. Do you you want to say hello? Because it's Bruce. An angel, aren't you, son? So he comes and, say hello. It's our choice, We have a choice. We have a fucking choice. You don't just have to sit there, be there and let this crap, knee-jerk reaction, oh yeah, I better switch on my computer and go into all the conspiracy stuff because I need to do that. It's going to help me. It's going to benefit me to solve this, to sort this out somehow. But it never does, people. You feed it and you believe it. You create it. You manifest it one way or another, you see. That's it. That's it, and that's all it is. That's Wetiko for you. It's very fucking clever. It's always been. It's a clever fucker. It's a slippery adversary. It really, really is, The clarity I've got now with regards to the situation. And of course the doubt, see, like I said, I'm and it's really like, whoa. Because the purge is still going on, of course. It's still being cleared out of me, and that's good. But because you see, it pipes up, it kicks off a fuss, it knows it's dying, so it fights. But as it does that, it triggers a purge. See? The snake that eats its own tail is a symbol of that, I believe, you see. Because it's this entire realm, it's symbological. That's what I call it anyway. It's not real, it's symbological. It's all meaningful, but not in a way that we realize it's meaningful at all. It's not that way. And everything, all the information that we've absorbed in our life from the various different religions or the New Age or the philosophies or the books and the people in authority and science and this and that and whatnot, all of that information is a kind of weird mirror image of truth. The truth lies behind it. It's the true world is there, but we have to learn to tune in and feel it, see it, understand it, not so much with the left side of the brain, but with a higher true self-consciousness. It has to be experienced. So many things, this is what I've written down, because so many things our minds, the dark generator, tells our emotions to care about are not true and will never happen. Fear keeps us powerless. It creates the realm that Wetiko needs to live in. And this is very true. I told you this before. I call it energetic terraforming. We project, you see. Consciousness is reality creating. And I mean, this is another thing, that they come out with, like Eckhart Tolle always says this, the power of now. I say the power of no. Like, we only exist in the now. This is bullshit. We exist in the past, we exist in the future, we exist here, we exist beyond this realm, we exist everywhere. We are omnipresent, so there is no such thing as now. There is such a thing as all. We exist in the all. That's it. See, it's all manipulation, and people believe this crap. And they stay with it. It becomes their dogma, it becomes their brick wall, and they cannot see beyond it. Because it's of Wetiko. Vertigo likes it because, yes, okay, I can live in this, says Vertigo. I can live in this. I can live in this, yeah. Because it's not empowering. It's not geared toward liberating your consciousness, you creating resets. See, so it's good for Vertigo. And Vertigo is guilt, because this is another thing I wrote down. People that can't forgive themselves, you know. There's such self-hate that they're probably not even aware of, I don't know. For me, that had to blow up in my face as well, the self-hate, all the way, still happening, still going on. The insanity, the weird, surreal land experience of that. It's all very surreal. Very surreal. Very much like Salvador Dali-esque type, and then some. I know this is... it's not real, it's not real. It's an illusion, the whole thing, it's an illusion, people. I'm trying to get something across here, and at the same time I feel that not many of you will maybe really get it, or maybe you will get it. I'm not saying that you're stupid people, I'm not saying that at all, but I have noticed that I'm a little bit different. Even amongst the difference, I'm a little bit different. I am so focused on this quest, on the beyond, on the slicing, the piercing through. I don't know why, but I've always been that way, you know. I've always been that way. I get a measure of myself now more than ever before, and it's like, yes. But I think we've all got it in us. You see, we must foster the will and the intention. You must want to forgive yourself. You must realize you need to forgive yourself. You must realize you can. You can do it. It isn't your fault. You didn't make these mistakes and have these narcissists in your life and allow yourself to be treated a certain way because there is something inherently faulty or wrong with you. There isn't. You're an infinite being. You're a creator, a magical creator being. You came here to have this experience. You're not meant to stay stuck like a broken record on the same level with that. Guilt is a fucker. Shame is a fucker. Vertigo loves it. It was created by Vertigo. It's the ultimate, dark reality creating tool. You see, you cannot grow. Have you noticed how, I've talked about this before, parents, you know, you have a child, this child gets it wrong, parents lay into them, oh, you got it wrong, now you've done it, ooh. You know, prisons, you did this, you did that, whoa, we're gonna punish you, you know, and things just go from bad to worse after that. They always fucking do. Vertigo terrain, people, vertigo terrain, right? Love. Understand, but it's fear, you see, it's fear. It's, oh, I got it wrong, oh, I'm doomed. Oh, the only way I'm going to stop myself or anyone else from doing this again is by punishing myself mercilessly. Yeah, we know that doesn't work at all. It has the opposite effect. Just as if, yeah, that's it, Vertigo likes that, yes? So, how do you forgive yourself? It's a feeling. It's in the feeling. You feel like you can't forgive yourself because you keep having that feeling. I'm so bad, I'm so shit, I'm so worthless. I keep doing the same thing over and over again. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm never going to be alright. Fear, depression. So all you can do is set an intention and say to yourself and pray, just pray. Pray to yourself, pray to your higher self. I choose to forgive myself. I deserve to forgive myself and I deserve to fucking be free. There's a reason why you did that, why you allowed that, why you went there. Ask to be shown the way and set your intentions. We try and fix things with this part of us. Vertigo never fixes anything. Never has, never will. It's there for only one reason, and that is to give us a certain experience, but it's not meant to continue to be in the driver's seat. It's meant to be expunged from the driver's seat. We're meant to get back our consciousness from its clutches and to create the new world. We didn't come here to experience this and then to die or whatever. It's all just all the darkness, and you know it's dark because it makes you feel shitty. Or it might make you feel a little better for a little while, like, oh, you've just become a born-again Christian and you know that you've been saved by the blood of the Lamb. So, which is just like disgusting bullshit. But for a little while you feel better. It's like when you take heroin, you feel better for a little while, but keep taking it and then you're a fucking junkie. Then you won't feel so fucking good. It's the same with all these temporary feel-good measures that the Vertigo gives you in terms of dogma, religion, science, philosophy, because it's all ego-based, as in fake persona. It's all bullshit. Because there's so much ego, there's so much fake persona. This is who I am, yes, I'm that, and I'm who, and I'm I. It's all bullshit, 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 bullshit. There's so much fucking bullshit going on there, people. There is no bullshit here. I don't need to prove anything or be anything. And I don't have to please people. I don't have to feel like I have to be a doormat and please and give everybody what they need. I'm here to give myself what I need. And other people are there to learn to give themselves what they need. That doesn't mean we never do anything for each other. I just bought a book and sent it to a friend. Because it gave me pleasure to do that. I can sit and listen to somebody when it feels right to give them some support. When it feels right, yes, we do it. Whatever, right? But we are not there to serve as crutches for other people so that they don't have to do the work themselves. I'm not going to take away anything from anybody's experience anymore. I won't do it. I am here on my quest. Only I can walk my path. Nobody can do it for me. When I encounter troubles and problems, I deal with it myself. Pretty much have done my whole life. But if I ever get really, really dark, I have a friend that I talk to. And this friend gives me some solace. That's great. But we cannot become addicts to that. Oh, I need from you. Give me. You know, a lot of relationships are like that. You know, it's not a mutually respectful thing where you both understand that, oh yeah, that's your experience, what you're doing there, okay, cool, and I'm doing this over here, and yeah, it's been really, really tough, we can talk about it, and then give each other some cool, and it makes you feel good, and it does feel whole, and it feels nourishing, and then you go your separate ways again for a while, because you have work to do that only you can do. But in this upside down world, everybody is perennially broken, everybody is in denial of that fact, and so everybody seeks to parasitically feed off everybody else, and that is a state of being that we've become very habituated to, and it's very toxic. It is the ultimate, I am so powerless, I need to continually feed off other people thing. That is what evil does. Feed. Adrenochrome, feed. Evil's not powerful, evil's weak. Because it needs to feed all the time. I know that true power doesn't need anything. It doesn't need to feed, it doesn't need parade, it doesn't need this egotistical, bombastic nonsense. It doesn't need to prove anything. It simply is. I am. Oh, it feels absolutely fabulous. And it you know, it's all right to just, that's it. So fertile, such fertile ground from which all kinds of amazingness can blossom. So rather than sitting in front of your computers, tuning into all the conspiracy theories, including the David Icke interview on the whatever London Reel. Oh, it's all going to happen. Oh dear, got to get together with other people in the community and stop this from happening. No, don't bother with that. No parley with mundane reality, thank you very much, because it isn't real. Let's go within. Let's clear out the retico more and more. Let's focus on creating the new. Let's watch as shifts happen on the external plane, because shifts have happened on the internal plane. That's what I feel. Now, I could be completely wrong, right? Maybe I'm completely wrong and I'm delusional and I need to take my meds. Okay, so be it. If that's the truth, then that's the truth. That's what the retico is telling me. There's all bullshit, you're mad, you're insane, you're so worthless, you should kill yourself. And all that depression and all that shit. And yet, I go with this. I trust my true self. I will always trust that now. Because I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that the dark side would never want me to feel that way. The dark side would never want me to love and honor myself, to set healthy, strong boundaries, to be my own best friend, to be my own mother, to be my own father, to commune with nature and feel nature like I have never felt it before, to talk to the trees, to feel the energy rising up from the soil, to appreciate the beauty and the goodness of that which is truly alive and truly souled in this world. Now, evil wouldn't want that, believe me. Evil doesn't like creativity, and it doesn't like life, and it doesn't like purity, see? So I trust, despite everything. There's a quote I came across not that long ago, which is just so typical of retico. When it aspires to spirituality, you see, and it was like that, in life, the only freedom we truly have in life is how we respond to things. And it sounded so wise. It sounded so, oh yeah, so wise. And I thought, what an utter load of bullshit. In other words, life happens to you. There's nothing you can do about it. All you have is how you react or respond to it, you know. Utter nonsense, people. And, you know, retico wants martyr consciousness. The only freedom you have, are allowed, is how to respond. Utter nonsense. Utter nonsense, people. We happen to it. We think it happens to us. That's what retico wants us to think. Well, yeah, you're just powerless. Nothing you can do. It will all happen. And the only freedom you have is what you do with it and how you... There is truth. See, in the Hall of Mirrors, there is some truth in it. That's true. Because shit has happened to me. I have utilized it to clear my consciousness from the retico. The retico made that shit happen to me. It's Catch-22, man. Beginning to feel like Captain Yossarian of Catch-22 here. It is very similar because it happens to you. And when you're not awake, that is how you perceive it. It happens to me. It's happening to me. All I can do is whatever, yeah? Be fucked up by it. Of course, you know, you're surrounded by these examples of people committing suicide, and one way or another, people succumb to its darkness and its evil. But I don't think that's real. I don't think any of that's real. I think that's all happening in the movie that you project with your retico infected consciousness. It's there to say, see how it goes, see? You live in a world that's dark. You're in trouble, you're in danger, you're never going to be safe, you're powerless. It's all a lie, people. It's all a fucking lie. We are not martyrs. Life does not happen to us. We happen to life. We've experienced life happening to us. Then we awoke, and life is still happening to us. Oh, and all the conspiracy theories, and this is happening, that's happening, oh my god. Oh, within, did you say? Go within, what does that mean? How do you do that? But you work it out, somehow, you work it out, so you start doing that. And that guy's really weird and nebulous and whoa. then you get to a point where, oh, I see it, get it now, yeah, right. The threshold, the gateway, that's when it really gets intense, because it knows the end is nigh. It knows that. So in, out. Shit, what the fuck? All hell's breaking loose. What are we gonna do? Well, there is truth in it. There is truth in it. We carefully decide we can react, or we can respond. What is the response? The response is that something tells me that my consciousness creates reality. Something tells me that despite all the lies and gaslighting nonsense I've been taught by the Wetiko that's living inside my head, that I am actually a powerful creator being. That I can, so I feel this fear, but I sit here and let that fear come, and then I let it go, and I am not reacting to it anymore. I'm not giving it my energy anymore. Instead, I turn away from it and I love myself. How did I learn to do that? It just sort of happened, little by little by little by little. Trial and error, over and over. And here I am. No idea how it happened, but it did happen, and that's what mattered. I willed it so, because I deserve to be free. Beyond words lies the experience. Beyond the experience lies the truth, people. Now, I don't know if I made any sense today to any of you. I'm not even sure I made any sense to myself. How do you put something into words that is beyond language? Something that can only really be experienced. It cannot be taught. It's a very personal thing, people. I trust this process, despite everything. I trust it now more than I've ever trusted it before, because I can have such a deep whole sense of myself, my true self, of nature, of everything that is truly souled, that is truly imbued with life, with true consciousness. I also see that which is of the Wetiko consciousness, so it's not real. It's interesting because somebody posted on Facebook, it was a motherboard, like a computer, a motherboard. It looked just like a city. It looked just like a city. And I thought to myself, yeah, that's it. The Wetiko world. It is very AI-esque. It isn't AI, it isn't really. It's just a like. That's all it is. But it's very much like, it looks that way because it is the unnatural world. It lives in our head and we manifest it all around us. The NPCs, whatever you want to call these creatures, all these different nuances, different experiences. Oh, that's going on. Oh, that's going on. Oh, can that be going on when that's going on? That doesn't really make sense. You know what I mean, right? Whoa, fields within nebulous, mad weirdness. Wow, all the time. This is why I know it's a consciousness thing. It's like a dream, people. It is a fucking dream. It's an illusion. It lies beyond that. Beyond the minds. Beyond Wetiko. Yeah, well. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there today because I've been going on for a while now and there is just no way for me to put this into words. And the only reason I've done this video now is because I felt that I need to make a record of what is happening within my consciousness, within my being. Again, this video is done really more for myself than anything else. But if anybody finds it helpful in any way, then I'm grateful and I'm happy about that, because we do commune with one another. We support one another. We are connected somehow. All the soul travelers are. We are not there to be crutches for each other, but we are there to inspire and encourage. We are there to love, but love like a truly good mother would want her child to learn how to walk. She will not do the walking for her child. You know what I'm saying? That's just not right. We need to walk our own paths. We need to come home to ourselves, because it's only there that we find our power. It's only there that we find the greatest treasure ever known within. You see? Then we can all get together and we can look each other in the eye, and we without so much as a spoken word, will know where we have been and what we have done. And the love will be just, wow, the power will just be, you see, because we have come here and we have done this. Each in our own way. And it will just be, I can just feel this. I can feel this communion between all of us. We will make it through this. We will make it to higher grounds, people. You know, otherwise you wouldn't be here. You came here voluntarily. You did. And if you think about it carefully, your whole life, you'll see the meaningfulness in it. You will see that, and you will see it here. We are all connected. We are in communion with each other. We are walking our own path, having our own quest here, but at the same time, these quests, this individual experience, like, it all connects somehow. It's an incredible thing. It's a magical thing, and it is beyond words, and that's all right. I'm good with that now. I no longer have to define it. I don't care anymore about doing that. It's okay. It's safe to be in the flow of it. So yeah, call it a day there. All my love to you all. Bless you.